Hello again, YouTube. I'm in Klamath Falls, Oregon. We are on BNSF Railway. This is a KBR 925 NOx ballast regulator 925 model number. This is going to look a lot similar to the KSF 940 when it's in ballast mode, because essentially at that point they are the same machine. Same engine, same def tank, similar broom. This one does not have quick connect handles. This one does not have easily removable baffle and deflectors. It does have easily adjustable side skirts, and it does have a front and rear deflector. It has air locks instead of hydraulic because it's not necessarily meant to work in the snow. We have the same battery distribution box, same 3 circuit breakers. Turn our power on. Things are powering up. Got some guys over here working behind me. Do a quick walk around the machine. You have your ballast wings. On a KBR 925, they actually come in a little bit closer and they do a little bit better job. Same turntable. Because this one is for BNSF, it actually has a different setup on the filtration. Now this one is a CAN controlled machine. That means everything is computer controlled, like actually computer controlled, just like in our KTC 1250s. These, everything is labeled a little bit better. Pause here for a second. If you'd like, you can pause the video and read these. Essentially, this shows you how to use this test port and how to shut off these butterfly hydraulic valves on the suctions for the pumps. There's no easy way to get down in there. I have this one flipped up. This is what's under all of these. This is either an active or a passive module. Active means it's actively controlled by the CAN. Passive means it's passively controlled by the CAN. Same as the KSF 940, 2 fuel tanks, crossovers. Just a slightly different broom. Alright, we're up in the cab, Knox Kershaw Incorporated. Everything up here is going to look exactly the same as the KSF 940, except this. Warning, machine is equipped with a wing auto store feature. Wings will begin to auto store the sequence automatically when the wing is raised. To pause the process, release the joystick. To terminate the process, move the joystick forward. Okay. This is our touchscreen controls. Everything else is the same. Run, idle, increase, decrease, def, inhibit, regen, e-stop, emergency pump, auxiliary controls. This is all of our joystick controls. Left, service brake, propel lever, right. Okay. So let's go through the functions on this. And our home screen tells you machine serial number, time, date, controls enable, forward and reverse on the motion alarm, propels enable, engine hours. This is a brand new machine that I'm putting in service. Battery voltage, broom hours, fuel level. I think the gauge is actually broken on this one. I'm going to have to get another one coming. Or not the gauge, the sending unit. Def level, air pressure, brake de-icer, which is used on the KSF 940s, not on the 925s. Hydraulic oil temp, transmission oil temp. Hydraulic oil level is good, coolant level is good, water temp's good, engine oil pressure. Okay, let's get it fired up. Okay. Warning, 3 buzz. Anytime there's a fault, 3 buzz. It was because we had low air pressure. Now that it's done, it stops. So from our home screen, we can go to diagnostics. You can see all of our pressures. When nothing is being used, control pressure is very low. When we go to move an implement, let's turn on our controls. Okay, everything's enabled. Now I'm going to pick up on my plow. Max is out at 3,000 psi. Okay, lower it back down. Okay, charge pressure. Charge pressure is a low pressure system that controls the high pressure system of the propel, which gets up there. Trans pump and trans clutch, those have to do with shifting the gears. Broom, auger, blower, which is not, this machine is not equipped with a blower or hydraulic locks. The AC and cooler fan. It's mostly a passive system, so when I turn our AC on, which works very well by the way, but I'm not going to run it because of the noise. We'll just deal with it. Okay, over here we have our filter indicators, propel, case train, charge, transmission, controls, hydraulic return, broom, engine air. Okay, then we have our joystick diagnostics. Touch that, we can see our joysticks. Turn our functions off. As you can see, left-hand joystick, when I push this button, it lights up. When I release, it goes away. If I pull back on my joystick, you can see just how far back I've pulled. If I stop halfway, all the way to the center, left, right, forward, squeeze the button, press these buttons, they all work. Swap to the right, same thing. I push the buttons, they light up. Pull back, push forward, right, left. Propel lever, which is over here on our right hand armrest. Okay, if I squeeze the dead man trigger, that lights up. If I hit the horn, that goes. If I shift gears, that goes up and it goes down. If I propel forward, or if I propel in reverse, all that works. Then our monitor list, which basically, if we have any problems and it sets off something, that just gives us a list of the history. If I get it to come on. Oh, that exit joystick died. Okay. A lot of these are actually from before the machine was made. So I could go get my laptop hooked to this and clear those out, but the customer understands because they're dated and when they're dated to, that it's okay. So exit. Come down to functions. The only purpose for this screen on this machine is our turntable enabled. If we want to spin the machine on turntable, we have to turn that on. We have to come over here and turn on auxiliary controls. Okay, we're not going to do that, so we're going to turn that off. Handy feature: if you have your propel enabled and you turn on your turntable, when you drop your turntable, that will actually stop your propel. Okay. Engine faults. Currently no engine codes. No engine emission codes either. Okay. Machine faults. Now, this has to do with the can system. Everything in the can can be faulted. If anything has a fault, it will light up red. I'm not going to sit here and go over every one of these. They get very, very specific about what they do. So we're going to go back to the home screen. As you can see, we're going 0 miles an hour. We're idling at 975 RPM. Let's bring it up to an even 1,000. Here we go. 1,000 RPMs. Okay. Both of our wings are down. Our plow is all the way up. Let's start with the wing. Controls enable. Down here on our right armrest, we're gonna make sure that our wings are unlocked. Okay, I'm gonna come here on my joystick. Now, up is up, down is down. Pivot in, pivot out, telescope. Okay, and you have open and close, and then there's another button under here. And if I squeeze that button and press the exact same buttons, now I get articulating door up and down. Same with this one. Open, close. Now, wing auto store, which I think is pretty neat. All I do is pull back. I don't push any buttons. I'm not pushing the trigger button underneath. All I'm doing is holding back. When the machine gets all the way up, it will pop up on the screen letting you know that it's auto storing. Now I'm going to start over. Okay. Push it back down like it was. All I do again is pull back. I'm going to let you watch the whole process. When it hits to a certain height, it stops, pivots the wing all the way in, pivots the wing back out the correct amount, closes all doors if they're open, telescopes all the way in. Then the wing will come up to a certain point and it will slow down to make sure it doesn't strike the cab. And when it stops moving, the indication on the screen will tell you that it is done. You can now stop pulling up on the joystick and come over here to our right hand wing lock and flip. Now I'm going to push this button. As you can see, try to zoom in where you can see a little bit. May not be able to see because of the glare. There's a lock. When I hit it, you can see the cylinder going in. Applies the lock into that hole. Now with the lock in that hole, the wing can't go down. In fact, it won't even attempt to go down. It will try to come up, and sometimes you'll have to pick it up to get it off the lock to unlock it. And that little red foot right there is actually to help keep from tilting the wing and hitting the cab. Well, it didn't telescope all the way in. So let's unlock it. Pull it down. There we go. Now we'll come all the way up. It's because it's not at full RPM, I'm at idle, and the hydraulics are not warmed all the way up. There. Now with it locked, I can't strike the cab because that foot protects the cab. The left wing works exactly the same, just reverse controls. And here's how they work. Now, some of these are going to be a little bit harder to see, but our plow, which is out front, over here on this side, I have my plow locked, so I unlock it. You see it lights up. When it's locked, it lights that way. It's unlocked, it lights that way. So, plow up, pick it up off the locks, and I can drop the plow down. Plow will go down until it touches the ground, essentially. I'm going to pick it back up. Now, let's see if I can make it do this. This plow is set up in this direction, and if we were moving forward, which we can't because there's a machine in the way, if we were moving forward, we could plow rock out the center of the track. If I wanted to transfer ballast from the right to the left, what I would need to do is come on my left side, hold down the plow blade pivot lock. I don't know if you can see them from up here or not. Just trying to get where you can see them. See them coming up? It keeps the plow from being able to move no matter which direction you're plowing in. So then I come over here and I take my right hand blade out. And I will just hit this. Boom. It goes out. Now, when I release, my locks reapply, and I can push ballast from one side to the other. Or I can push them both forward. Come over here to my left. And now both of them are forward. And then whenever I go forward, I pull ballast in to fill up the center if there's not enough ballast in the middle. Plow float, which although the machine is equipped with it, you don't use it in ballast. You only use it when you're in snow. Okay, and your wing locks, of course. So I'll kick this down and I'll spin back around. Can't really see the broom. I've shown you in previous videos. But on the left side here, we have broom lock and unlock, broom up and down, deflector up and down, broom forward, neutral, and reverse, and auto broom. This snow blower is not attached, it's just there. The switch doesn't work, doesn't light up, doesn't do anything. So, auto broom. With this enabled, when the broom is not moving, the machine will not move. It has to keep up with the speed of the broom, and it slows the machine down if there's too much ballast being broomed at once, and it slows down the broom or bogs it down. So forward. Now, in order to turn our broom on, we must be less than 1200 RPM, and we must be in first gear. Let's see, I'll take it up to running RPM, which is 2200. Let's put it in second gear. Now, whenever I try to turn my broom on, nothing happens. Okay? Turn my broom off. Let's go back to first gear. Let's try again. Try to turn our broom on. Again, reduce engine to 1200 or less to start broom. So, turn it off. Go back to idle. Now, when I turn on my broom, it kicks on, and I can see my broom RPMs. And then I can go to run. And I know you can't see it, but now my broom is spinning. I'm not going to put it on the ground because I'm in a yard and it might mess things up. Turn it off, just turn it off, and RPMs go away. Okay. Next is propel. Turn that off, turn propel on. Now, in order to propel, this is our propel lever. Now, it has a dead man switch on the bottom down here. You have to squeeze in order to get it to start out. This is dead center. I can push it and it will do nothing. Okay. This is our horn. This is our gear shifter. But when I flip this direction to the right, I go up gears. When I flip it to the left, I go down gears. Since this is a hydrostatic system, you can shift up while in motion, but not down. So, when I grab this lever from the middle and I pull it, the machine starts moving. I know, the parking brakes are applied and it still moves because it has that much torque. It will move in first and second gear, sometimes third, with the parking brake applied. Usually not any higher though. To release the parking brake, first I'm going to, that wing's all the way down, we're good. Grab this, pull up, hear the air hissing, and hold it. Hold it until air builds up on the back side. Then it'll stay up. Now my brakes are released and it'll be a lot easier to move. And to apply, you just put. Okay. Our auxiliary controls and our emergency pump. So let's try this. Let's turn this off. Okay. Turn it back on. Let's see if I can do this. May have to prop the phone up somewhere, because it takes two hands to do this. Turn this off. Let's enable our controls. I can do it like this. Alright, I'm going to hold this down. You can hear the electric pump come on. and I can use this to move the implements. In the event of a catastrophic failure of an engine, you can use that to stow the equipment so that it can be towed. Okay, let's turn that back off. Now I'm going to go back outside and we're going to roll this cab up so you can see under the cab. Alright, in order to roll our cab over, we come to our auxiliary controls, which I've shown you in previous videos. We hold cab tilt up and down and E-pump. And hold up and hold our E-pump. When I do, cab rolls up. When it hits all the way to the top, you can let these cylinder locks down and it will lock it in place and it won't allow it to come down. I'm not going to put it down because I don't want to crawl under here. But this way you can see our E-pump, our transmission, hydraulic pumps. The front one is just for propel. This section, well, you can't see it very well. These two hoses run together from the propel pump over to our propel motor. And then this next pump, where this blue tag is our Belgian pump. The front section runs the broom. The rear section runs, which is this system here. This rear section actually runs all of your controls, all your wing movements, everything. And then this very, very rear section, this little tiny piece back here, is actually one little pump that controls the hydraulic cooler fan and the air conditioner, because the air conditioner is also hydraulically driven. So we can come up here and see our can controlled valve banks. You can swap these wires around in almost any situation that you want, with the exception of these large gray ones coming in. And as long as they can all reach each other, they will still work in the same way. It doesn't matter which wire goes where, because it's all computer controlled. Our E-pump has these two little coils on top of it. That's what makes the cab tilt go up and down. So there's this valve bank, and then there's another one over here. These valve banks run both wings, the plows, and the broom. With the exception of the actual broom rotation, which is controlled by this brass block down here, which is called a broom reversing valve. Our test ports on this actually have an extra set of fittings on the side that run to the sensors, which is how we get our pressures up to the screen inside the cab. And then our cabin air filter, all that runs to the bottom of our air conditioner off the front of the machine. The cab tilted up, it gets pretty close sometimes. So to let it back down, we just come back over to our nice little controls enable box and we just tilt it down. And we're good. Close this up. We'll go back in and turn our ignition key back to the off position, and then we'll turn off our batteries. And that's it, we're done. This one has a replenishment pump. Electric. You take this hose, unwind it, drop it in a bucket or a tank, and flip this on and pumps fluid through these filters and into the tank. There's a breather with desiccates, lets you know, depending on what color they change, lets you know how much moisture is filtered out. Okay. Thanks for watching my video all the way to the end. Hope you liked it. If you did, please hit that like button. If not, let me know in the comment section below. And as always, have a safe day.